We were flown in from Gwalior, we landed in Trincomalee, and our convoy started moving from Trincomalee towards Jaffna. Our adjutant, the vehicle in which he was traveling, was blown up in front of us. He was severely injured. Thank God he survived. The challenges in the operational areas, as you know, our operational borders are of three types. We have the deserts to the west, the mountains to the north and northeast, and we have the jungle and the riverine terrain in absolutely to the east. To the north, the inclement weather is by way of extreme cold, temperatures going down to minus 20 degrees. To the west, we have extreme heat. You can fry an egg on a tank top. And to the east, in the jungles and the riverine terrain, the humidity is so high, it saps you of your energy. All these have adverse effects on the human body. Then we have the hostile, rugged terrain to the north and to the northeast. Heights varying from 9,000 feet to 18,000, 19,000 feet, and we are all deployed over there. Sichuan is the highest battlefield of the world. There are associated problems with high altitude. One, heavy snowfall. You can be sleeping one night, next day morning when you get up, you find that your exit from the bunker has been blocked because of 20 feet of snowfall. That means that when it is snowing, we do not sleep. We earmark parties which keep clearing the snow from top of the bunkers. Then we have the effect of high altitude on your health. The high altitude pulmonary edema, which is also known as hypoxia, chilblains, loss of memory, and disorientation. All these have a multiplying effect on the morale of the troops. So this prime aspect is that when you are deployed in rugged and inhospitable terrain, how to keep the morale of your troops high. In these areas, the supplies and the replenishments are very difficult. In the summer months, the supplies and replenishments are done at the posts, and whole of the winters, barring for one odd occasion when there is fair weather and a helicopter can land or drop some fresh food for you. Otherwise, you have to sustain yourself for 6 months on tinned food and dry ration that has been stocked with you. Next major problem in this terrain or operational areas, the casualty evacuation. God forbid you have a casualty, it is very difficult to evacuate the casualty unless it is fair weather. Because due to the snowfall or because of the nature of the tracks, the casualty cannot be moved by stretcher. I had said about the morale of the troops. All these challenges you may not be able to overcome, but your prime responsibility in this operational areas is to keep the morale of your troops high, because if the morale is low, the battle has been lost. Then we have some peculiar challenges in counter-insurgency and counter-terrorist operation environment. These are also operational areas, but it is not a fixed enemy. We do not know who the enemy is. So the challenges in this case are, who is the insurgent? Who is the terrorist? Where is he located? How to neutralize if you locate a terrorist and he's in a village? How to neutralize him without any collateral damage? That's the biggest challenge, because invariably an innocent civilian will be also killed in this operation. How to keep the lines of communication open? One of the favorite tactics of the insurgents and terrorists are to plant IEDs and mines on the road. A vehicle goes by, they blow up the vehicle, thereby killing all the troops who are inside that vehicle. So primary aim is to launch operations early in the morning, clearing the roads, and then physically dominating the road day in, day out, 365 days a year, from morning 5 o'clock till evening 6 o'clock, when convoys will cease to operate. So these are some of the challenges in operational areas. During my tenure in these operational areas, I haven't been to war. I wasn't there in Kargil war, and the last war was fought in 1971 when I was still a kid. So my vivid memories from operations are in counter-insurgency and counter-terrorist operations. The first one is Sri Lanka. We were flown in from Gwalior. We landed in Trincomalee, and our convoy started moving from Trincomalee toward Jaffna. Our adjutant, the vehicle in which he was traveling, was blown up in front of us. He was severely injured. Thank God he survived, but very seriously injured. So that's one memory that I have, where I've seen a huge army lorry being blown up. Second vivid memory I have is that we are moving and there is sniper fire that is coming at us. And there is no way, there is no enemy, there is no insurgent. You can't see anyone. After taking cover and scouting the area, we found that the LTT had taken position on top of a palm tree. Normally when fire comes at you, you look at ground level, trying to see from where the fire has come. But in this case, the LTT was on a palm tree. Once located, we neutralized him. The third incident involves me. I had finished my command, and in another 3 to 4 days' time, I was to move out from the operational area and go to Mao. Taking over was in progress. We had got some information that there are some terrorists hiding in a jungle hideout. So our operation was launched and I had gone. And just as my party was about to reach the location where the operation was being launched, me, my radio operator, my buddy, my bodyguard, we were fired upon very badly from close quarters, and we were down below. Now this was a situation wherein the enemy was in high ground, we were in a nala down below. There was very little that I could do, and we were all in lying position. We were wearing the bulletproof jackets, but that wouldn't have given us any protection because we were on our tummies down, and even one single bullet would have got at least me or my buddy. Luckily, my officers who heard the fire and they were nearby and on the high ground, they rushed towards the direction from where the fire came, and the terrorists, seeing the troops coming from another side, they ran away from that area. That was a scary situation. Like I said, for the first time in my life, I felt that it was going to be my end, and the full 3 years of command of the battalion went by like a flashback. Okay, so that's actually one of the close shaves that I had. And one more incident was in the same when I was commanding a battalion. We had a encounter in which two Afghan terrorists were in an apple orchard. My troops saw them. They jumped into a big hole and hid over there. And my troops scouted the area. They didn't find him. But one good observant fellow, he noticed that big hole. That hole was around 8 feet in diameter and around 6 feet in depth. So he said that they are going to be there inside that. He lobbed a grenade inside that. And those days we didn't have the 4-second fuse grenade, we had the 7-second fuse grenade. And promptly the terrorists inside threw the grenade back at the Jawan. So by this time we knew that we had to do something to neutralize the terrorists. It's not going to be so easy just lobbing grenades. In the meantime, I received information. I went over there and we were in a close cordon, maybe 10 feet, 12 feet away from the pit and taking positions behind apple trees. Very precarious situation then. And I told my troops to saturate that pit with 4 to 5 grenades at a time, because they cannot lob back all the grenades. True enough, we lobbed around 5 to 6 grenades inside, but one grenade he did lob back before being killed inside. And that grenade burst right in front of me. I got shrapnel injuries on my left shoulder, and the moment, at the time when the base cap of the grenade hit my left shoulder, I felt my left shoulder had come off. Luckily, nothing happened. All ended well. We neutralized the 2 terrorists, and that's it. So these were some close quarter shaves that I had in operational areas.